Hi, welcome to today's Piece of Peace. Today is Memorial Day in the United States, and it is Monday, May 25th. We're going to open up in John chapter 15, verses 9 through 17. We're reading out of a devotional from Our Daily Bread. The title of the devotion is called Remembering, and the author of the devotion is Allison Kaida. Starting in 9. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands, and I've remained in his love. I've told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because servants do not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything I have learned from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and have appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. This is my command: love each other. Allison goes on to write, on Memorial Day, I think of military veterans, but especially my dad and uncles, who served in the military during World War II. They made it home, but in that war, hundreds of thousands of families tragically lost loved ones in service to their country. Yet, when asked, my dad and most soldiers from that era would say they were willing to give up their lives to protect their loved ones and stand for what they believed to be right. When someone dies in defense of their country, John 15:13 says, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. This is often recited during the funeral service to honor their sacrifice. But what were the circumstances behind this verse? When Jesus spoke those words to his disciples during the Last Supper, he was about to die. And in fact, one of his small group of disciples, Judas, had already left to betray him. Yet Christ knew all of this and still chose to sacrifice his life for his friends and enemies. Jesus was willing and ready to die for those who'd one day believe in him, even for those who were still his enemies. In return, he asks his disciples then and now to love each other as he has loved them. His great love compels us to sacrificially love others, friends and enemies. That hit me pretty hard. And I just want to repeat that section again. Jesus was willing and ready to die for those who'd one day believe in him, even for those who were still his enemies. Would you be willing to die for your enemy? I had to ask myself that question. Would I be willing to die for my enemy? In return, he asked his disciples then and now, love each other as he has loved them. Love each other as he has loved us. His great love compels us to sacrificially love others, friend and foe alike. Her charge was this: before we believed in Jesus, we were his enemies. Yet Jesus died for us. How can you honor and remember Jesus for his death on the cross for you? How can you sacrificially love others? And her prayer: Jesus, we're so thankful that you were willing to die for us. That brought me into Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. A little bit different of a message, but good to add to this anyway. So how willing are we to die for our loved ones, our friends, but how willingly are we to die for our enemy? That was a good ponder, but Jesus chose that. It's amazing. And here's our word from Sarah Young, out of Jesus Calling. Download that app or order her book. The world is too much with you. She's writing from the perspective of God to us, as if we were more worldly than he wished we were. The world is too much with you, my child. Your mind leaps from problem to problem to problem, tangling your thoughts in anxious knots. When you think like that, you leave me out of your worldview and your mind becomes darkened. Though I yearn to help, I will not violate your freedom. I stand silently in the background of your mind, waiting for you to remember that I am with you. When you turn from your problems to my presence, your load is immediately lighter. Circumstances may not have changed, but we carry your burdens together. Your compulsion to fix everything gives way to deep, satisfying connection with me. Together we can handle whatever this day brings. There's our piece of peace. God's blessing.